Clark's Classic Rock, Q1043.
Jonathan Clark hanging out with the great Warren Haynes in the studio with us. How are you, man?
Great.
And that is a beautiful guitar. Oh my God. That is a Gibson ES335 that you have nicknamed Blondie? Or is that a actual like brand on the 335 now?
My old guitar tech, Brian Farmer, nicknamed all the guitars so he could tell them apart in the dark. So he put these little stickers on each one. And it was really more.
Is that glow in the dark, like printing on the side?
He shines a flashlight, and you can see it.
Well, it's got to be tuning when the lights go down, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're here because the Gov't Mule has a fantastic new album. I'll hold it up. Revolution Come, Revolution Go. And this is awesome because, now let me check. Yes, it is a double album, and it opens up to this amazing joint rolling situation. But we were talking about vinyl before. It's really, aren't you glad that it's coming back?
I love it. I think the resurgence is amazing, and we sell a lot of vinyl, and of course I love vinyl myself, and I'm really glad.
Did you find that you had to, once it's sort of like everyone, like, I don't know, it was like 5, 6, 7 years ago, did you go out and buy a new turntable because you wanted one, or just like?
Yeah, because my old one was beat
40 years probably. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I hadn't used it in ages, but that's good, you know. And everybody I know kind of bought a new turntable.
Yeah, I got to get one too. Let me ask you this. Does Warren Haynes ever stay home and do laundry and watch Netflix?
I stay home. I do laundry.
Because you are constantly touring.
And I don't have Netflix yet, but I need it because I see all this stuff that I love.
It's the dark side. I mean, once you're in, you're going to be, you're going to get calls to go on tour with people, and you're going to be sucked into like, Breaking Bad or something.
And I think everybody on the bus but me has it. I'm just kind of the least technological savvy.
I would think that's where it'd be awesome. We got those long bus rides in between cities where you just need to kill time.
Yeah, sometimes we have Apple TV and stuff. So it's good to have a way of entertaining yourself.
I was looking at your tour dates, and I think maybe you've been doing this for a few years now. You do this thing called the Island Exodus.
Yeah.
And that is in Jamaica, right?
Yes.
Now, I guess this one is sold out or almost sold out. But so what happens down there? You go down there for like 4 days, and is it like a festival in Jamaica or something? Or
we set up a stage on the beach, right on the water. We take over this resort, and gov't Mule does 3 shows, and I do 1 solo acoustic show. So there's 4 days of shows. But we have a lot of special guests with us. So this year we have Mofro.
Oh yeah.
And we've had John Schofield.
Oh my God, he's so great.
Grace Potter. We've had so many people down there as part of it. But it's just a party, and it's the same people every night. And each year we get a little bit better.
Right.
At doing it,
So do we have the Beacon shows this coming December again?
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to make that a tradition.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
It is a tradition at this point.
And is it Warren Haynes or is it gov't Mule? All of the above? Or
gov't Mule.
Oh, okay. gov't Mule. Okay.
And we always do our thematic New Year's show where we pick some theme and do a special show.
Right, yeah.
Halloween and New Year's are the 2 shows that we do that.
His name is Warren Haynes. The new gov't Mule record is Revolution Come, Revolution Go. And I want to get into that. I want to ask you, though, did you go to Gregg Allman's funeral?
I was in Spain and couldn't make it back, and it broke my heart. But
yeah,
I saw him shortly before he passed. Derek Trucks and I drove down and spent some time with him, and it was great, to just sit around and tell stories, and it really was heartbreaking that I couldn't be there. My wife went.
Right, yeah, because I know a lot of people went, and I figured you were going to be there, but if you're in Spain, that's a long flight. I mean, obviously, yeah.
And there was no way possible, which was really heartbreaking for me.
Right, I can imagine. So when you would be on tour with the Allman Brothers, would Gregg ever tell you stories about the old days, say like Dwayne and Barry and the early days?
Oh yeah, I mean I've known Gregg since '81. We met when I was 21 years old, and we became much closer at '89 when I joined the Allman Brothers. But usually when he talked about the old days, it was funny stories.
Yeah.
Myself and Alan Woody and Gregg, the 3 of us shared a tour bus. And that was the fun bus. That was the bus that was listening to music and cracking each other up. And those are my fondest memories of us just cutting up and laughing.
He had a way. I only got to interview Gregg once, but he had as you were saying, he had a comical, humorous way of telling stories. He told the story of Dwayne and the Coricidin bottle.
Yeah.
And how Dwayne was really sick, and Gregg came over and left this bottle of Coricidin on the porch, ran away because Dwayne was mad at him or something like that. Yeah, Dwayne didn't take the Coricidin. He emptied all the pills out, and then he started playing slide guitar. And, the rest is history. But he told it in a really sort of funny, comical way. I mean, he's just so good at that, I guess.
He loved comedy, and Alan Woody was one of the funniest people I ever met. So the three of us were pretty much laughing all the time.
It's Warren Haynes in the studio with us. Gov't Mule got a new album, Revolution Come, Revolution Go. Are we talking about the state of politics in our country? Because I know that the day one of recording was in Austin, Texas on Election Day, correct?
Which was a little strange, yeah. There are a few songs that have some sort of political connotations, but they're just from an observer's standpoint. I don't like to get into a preaching sort of position. But there are a few songs, including the title track, that touch on it a little bit, and in some ways kind of tongue-in-cheek. But there's probably more songs about reflection and relationships, because Gov't Mule just celebrated our 20th anniversary.
That's amazing. Does that
band.
Blow you away?
Yeah.
20 years.
It does. And
it raced by.
And this is our 10th studio record, which also blows me away because we started as a side project to the Allman Brothers, and myself and Alan Woody were just looking for something fun to do. I don't think we thought we would make a second record.
Yeah.
And here it is. We're going on 23 years, and this is our 10th studio record.
Nonstop. Well, Salon actually said of the album, Gov't Mule calls out for unity.
Well, I guess that's one way of looking at it. I think we should all call out for unity pretty much all the time. But, music is a good way to kind of do that because music is one of the things that brings people together that otherwise may disagree. So why not kind of reach out to people through your music?
You're getting rave reviews all over the place, including Rolling Stone. But you also did some recording of this album here in New York, right, at one point?
We did one song. The song Sarah Surrender was recorded here in New York because I wrote it after we finished recording in Austin. And I thought, this is a cool song. Maybe we should take a stab at it and see how it holds up. And we were all here for the Beacon shows.
Right, yeah.
And so we stayed a few extra days and went in the studio, and we were very happy with the way it turned out. So it wound up on the record.
And the great Don was helping you out on this album a little bit too, right?
Yeah, he came in for a few days and worked on the songs Dreams and Songs and Pressure Under Fire. Don and I have been seeing each other a lot recently. We toured together for the Last Waltz 40. But this was the first time that we had worked in the studio together, and he's amazing to work with. Great attitude and just brings a lot of experience to the table.
And stories too, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Tell me about the Waltz 40 tour because that was so interesting. Who was on that with you?
Well, the three singers were myself and Michael McDonald and Jamie Johnson. And when we first sang together in three-part harmony, we were very surprised at how great the voices blended. And, of course, each of us has a completely different sounding voice. And Don was on bass, John Medeski was on keyboards, and we had the horn section, the levy horns from New Orleans, Terrence Higgins on drums. And it was just really fun. It started out as one show in New Orleans, and everybody had so much fun. One by one, everybody started saying, why don't we book a little tour? And so we wound up doing that.
Did you was the sequencing of the songs from the movie or the album, or?
We went to the whole concert and kind of took liberty. We chose some songs that weren't on the album and some that weren't in the movie. Every song we chose was played at the show, but it was mostly the stuff you would expect. We just threw a few curveballs in there, and Man, what a fun time.
Oh, man. Warren Haynes in the studio with us. Government Mule has a new album. It's called Revolution Come, Revolution Go, and you got that beautiful Gibson guitar. You want to play a song for us?
Sure.
Tell us the name of it and maybe what it's about, and then just go for it.
This is Traveling Tune, which is probably the most of the countryside of Southern rock that Government Mule has ever explored. When I first wrote it, it was written at the end of the record as well, and I wanted to dedicate it to Butch Trucks after he passed away,
Yeah.
and then I decided to dedicate the whole album to Butch, and then of course right after the album was released, Gregg passed away. So this song is kind of for both of them. It talks about the relationship between the musicians and the audience, and the relationship between the current musicians and what came before.
All right.
Just another highway song, just another traveling tune. They say sing about what you know. Well, hello people, it's been a long time. So good to see you, how you feeling? It's good to be together, even for a short while. Nothing like a little rockin' and reelin'. So many familiar faces scattered in with the new ones. We got to keep spreading the word. You keep on coming, we'll keep on coming back, even when the lines are getting blurred. Just another highway song, just another traveling tune. They say sing about what you know. Well, I know I've been down this road a time or two. So let's sing another road song before we go. Here's one for the fallen ones that didn't make it through this life's challenges and pressures. Gotta keep on rising and singing in their honor, even try to enjoy some of life's pleasures. It's just another highway song, just another traveling tune. They say sing about what you know. They say how many road songs can you write? As many as it takes to get it right. And here's one I just wrote the other day. Let's sing it and then be on our way. I try to inject myself into the show. That's all I know. Well, goodbye, people. We'll see you down the road. Some other town, some other place. We'll raise our voices, maybe even a glass in toast to those that can never be replaced. Just another highway song, just another traveling tune. They say sing about what you know. Well, I know this old heart's been broken a time or two. So let's sing another sad one before we go. Just another highway song, Just another traveling tune. This is thing about what you know.
The great Warren Haynes and Travel in Tune off the new Government Mule album, Revolution Come, Revolution Go. Really nice, man. Thank you for doing that. I wanted to mention also on the new album a song called Burning Point featuring Jimmy Vaughn.
Yeah.
Well, that was convenient for him. You were in Austin, right? I mean,
yeah. You know, our last record before this one was called Shout, and it was coming up on our 20th anniversary. So we invited 11 of our favorite singers to come in and do alternate versions of the 11 songs.
I remember that. Yeah, you had Miles Kennedy, I think, on that
Yeah,
record.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And, Elvis Costello and Ben Harper and Steve Winwood and Glenn Hughes and all these
couple dudes that can
wonderful
sing for
singers,
sure.
you know? And so after that record, we thought, well, let's make the next record. It's going to be the first one after we've turned 20. Let's make it just us. But we were in Austin and we were recording Burning Point, and we thought, Jimmy Vaughn would sound great out here.
Yeah, I don't blame you one bit.
Yeah, so it's really cool. You can hear my guitar on the left side and Jimmy's guitar on the right side, and you hear the conversation between the two guitars. It's really nice.
Oh, that's fantastic. So I've previewed the whole album on a sort of like an advanced stream. Is it me, or do the guitars get a little bit louder on this album?
It's a good possibility. I think they're just loud enough.
Right, yeah. Let's talk about that, because there's this one song. I think it's the opening track. It's called Stone Cold Rage. Tell me about this one, and then we'll play it off the album.
Well, Stone Cold Rage is the way the record opens. It's a angry sort of song. It's talking lyrically about the divide that's going on in America right now, but again, from an observer's standpoint. And it's just a up-tempo rocker, a good way to start the record.
Absolutely. And we're going to play it right now. Once again, the new Government Mule album. Everyone go out and buy it. It's fantastic. Revolution Come, Revolution Go. And we'll see you at the Beacon Theater in New York City, December 30, 31, earlier, maybe 4 shows.
Who knows?
Who knows? But Warren Haynes, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
New York's classic rock. Q1043.